We had one advisor say, and they're in Los Angeles, said, I just really want you to make me famous.
It's a bad goal.
Within 3 days, you are never going to be famous. That's not, but if you understand how their advisory fees work, I said, wow, if you get a community of 30 people over 3 years, all those 30 people close, that's a pretty successful podcast. And that was certainly possible. But the problem is you have to have a certain personality to garner 30 million people. And most advisors don't have that, which I want to argue, I think is okay. It's kind of like the Midwest. People don't want,
certainly,
on average, this big advisor with this huge personality. They want you to be sound, right? They don't want you to be extravagant.
The business model is not really designed for people who are kind of out of bounds. It's not really designed for interesting people. I would contrast it pretty dramatically with something like, let's say a real estate agent who's kind of made for TV in a lot of ways. They're selling on aesthetics. They're selling on, somebody who knows somebody who can get you something somebody else can't. It's not really what an advisor is supposed to be. And what this business, I think, rewards is people who are quite honestly boring, who do the same thing frequently. And what I think that many people who come into this industry in the digital age miss is that, the first thing that they see, the first thing they're exposed to online are advisors and other, we'll say, national financial service firms who are trying to be present online. What you have to understand is that most people, certainly most individual practitioners, once you get down to the individual level, who are successful in silence. The best advisors I've ever been around aren't online at all. And so if you're starting with a strategy that the best people aren't even doing, why would that work? You have to deconstruct this thing from start at the end. Could you tell me who Drake's advisor is? You probably couldn't, but you could literally Google it right now and find out who his lawyer is. You probably could find out who his real estate agent was, but you're not going to be able to find out who his advisor is or who runs, his investments. It's just not the nature of the profession. So trying to chase something that's very public facing, because the reality is, in order to grow a following, you have to say things that are different, that are arguably kind of outlandish. That's what the internet rewards, right? That's not what clients demand, though. Most advisors who do things well in silence, and they don't know anything about digital marketing. And for most people, I'd argue it doesn't really matter. That's not how you're going to grow a successful advisory business.